Check this out, the Coast Contra experience. It's all happening. March 9th, 2022, exactly 25 years after the death of the notorious B.I.G. Location, Novo Theater, downtown Los Angeles. 2,000 plus rap fans filed into the iconic venue to see Cordae, who was headlining that night. But arguably, it was rising stars Coast Contra who shined most compellingly. After assaulting the stage in the best possible way through pristine choreography and bombastic bars, the group closed their set by commanding the audience to raise their L's high in the sky. Thousands of L's shot straight into the air. For what? Most didn't know in that moment because this was most first time seeing the Coast. It could have been for trees, it could have been for losses, it could have been for losers. It didn't matter because Coast Contra had already captured the crowd. Then they dropped immediately into their then unknown anthem, Legacy. Here's a clip. They wanna see us the whips. They wanna see us the chains. Legacy, legacy, legacy. They tryna ruin the name. That night was a milestone moment for Coast Contra. At the time, that was by far their biggest LA show. But excitement reached a fever pitch through their super viral Never freestyle, which released the month before. This was all over the timeline. Here's a clip. Okay, I kick up, flip shit, hop, keep it moving. Hip hop, you can't stop this type of movement. I'm a storyteller, so let me get right into it. About this time, I'm almost died over some coochie. Say what? The energy is infectious. A whole story about getting beat up over some booty. Not only has Never Freestyle notched over 5 million views on YouTube, but the whole experience feels quintessential hip hop. 4 brothers sitting around a table like it's a lunchroom, storytelling straight bars, competitive energy permeating like basketball practice. It's all happening. Over the next 5 months, this furious foursome would blast into the hip hop conversation through an impressive streak of freestyles, features, and appearances. Toby Nwigwe enlists their bombast for the beautifully powerful Destruction, even recreating their branded mic table in his mint green aesthetic. If you haven't seen that video, punch yourself in the face. Masterfully done. Ciara reached out to Coast Contra on DM. She featured them on her raucous, club-ready single Jump, highlighting the group's pop friendliness. Jimmy Fallon is also a fan of Coast Contra. The group performed Never Freestyle and Legacy on The Tonight Show. Not many stages much bigger. They even found their way onto Madden 23 soundtrack. 505 off their debut album, Apartment 505 is featured inside the venerable football game, a rite of passage for any artist on the rise. But by no means are Coast Contra simply a viral flash on the timeline. This isn't an overnight success. This is an 8-year journey that epitomizes grit, legacy, and relentless determination. Coast Contra is a group of 4 members from all across the Americas. There's Roz Austin and Taj Austin, who are twin brothers who come from a storied musical lineage. Their mother is soul singer Tidra Moses, and their father is Razcast, one of the most deadly lyrical assassins in hip-hop history and creator of the super classic Soul on Ice. It's right there on my wall. Taj and Roz were raised around cultural heavyweights and grew up studying everything they could about hip-hop. Ludacris, Eminem, Exhibit, and Snoop were some of their favorite MCs. Method Man and Redman taught them the importance of a cohesive live show, something Coast Contra pursues relentlessly. I spoke with each member at the after party following their no-vote performance. Here's Taj.
So, you know, some of the first memories I have at like 5 or 6 or whatever, was my pop had a show, and it was a big ass show, and you know we backstage, and on that same show it was Eminem performing, Snoop Dogg, Ludacris, and so you know he take us backstage, and then my pop like, yo, spit for these niggas, you know what I'm saying? So me and my brother start spitting this shit. We saying, making up words and shit, whatever, and you know Snoop Dogg throw out a 20 and hand it to me. Motherfucking Ludacris throw out a 20 and hand it to us, you know what I'm saying? So like those are some of my first memories, just spitting in front of them dudes. And at 5 or 6, you know what I'm saying? And that shit was crazy. I think that definitely kept a spark in me moving forward. Like, yo, yeah, man, these are the greatest. Just that little small thing, you know, spark a dream and keep it going for yourself. Yeah, it was tough, man. But shout out to Razcast, man. That's the pop legend.
That's so visual. Many Razzcast twins kicking kitty raps for Snoop and Luda and getting paid for it. They learned early that this ain't a community center. Dollar worth what a dollar buy go monetize. Now, Taj and Roz clearly grew up studying the greats, but it was TDE's Black Hippie that had the biggest impact on them, motivating them to take their craft seriously and showing them the value of healthy competition. Roz.
I ended up listening to all the all the Kendrick shit. I listened to everything, and then I seen their culture. You know what I'm saying? You got these 4 cats they writing, they competing. Nigga, you weak. Nah, nigga, you weak. You know what I'm saying? And it's like this element of like, come harder. Like, nigga, you don't come hard, I'm gonna cut your head off. So we just followed their blueprint. I remember I'd be walking home from school writing, and I spit my shit to my brother. He'd be like, nigga, that shit weak. And every time I spit some shit, he'd be like, yeah, that shit weak, you know what I mean? And then I come back, and I'd be like, yo, you heard that new Kendrick verse off of da-da-da-da? And he'd be like, nah. I'd be like, yo, that nigga said, spit my shit. And he'd be like, dog, he's like, what song? He's like, that shit hard, what song is that? I'd be like, that's my shit. He'd be like, nigga, that shit weak, nigga. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's just a lot of seeing that element of watching them get down with each other, watching them hold each other accountable. Also, you don't want to ever be the weakest link, so that helps a lot.
I feel you, Roz. Definitely can't be the weakest link. Now, when the twins were 15 years old, they met the third member of the group, Rio Los, while living in Miami. Rio's from Colombia, South America, and often kicks rhymes in both Spanish and English. Here's Rio.
When Coast Contra started, it was just me and the twins. We was 15 in my dad's kitchen out in Miami. We knew we didn't necessarily want to represent like a certain block or a certain hood or a certain city because we always knew this shit was bigger than us. So why would we limit it to a certain location and district, you know what I mean? So man, we was just like, you know what, nigga, I'm human and I want to put on for Earth, period. You know what I mean? So that coast. I'm being from South America, that's a whole different coast. The twins being from West Coast, but I met those niggas on the East Coast. So it was like every coast was already a part of the conversation before we even said the name Coast Contra.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, man, like, this shit's bigger than me.
The Coast Contra story truly is the story of the American dream, the Horatio Alger, pull yourself up by your own bootstraps motif that forms the foundation of greatness. Sure, the twins grew up with parents in the music industry, but they weren't silver spooning. Taj, Roz, and Rio all moved to LA from Miami in 2015 to maximize their music dreams. They worked at My 2 Cents in Koreatown. They bussed tables. They shared a studio apartment where they all lived and rapped. Then a year later, while walking down the street, Taj randomly meets another hungry MC, Eric Jamal. Eric Jamal had just driven from Philly to LA in a Subaru Outback chasing his vision. The two trade bars. Taj introduces Eric to the rest of the crew. Eric gets a job at My 2 Cents too, then moves into the studio apartment with the rest of the crew. Boom, the Coast Contra cipher is complete. Their debut album, Apartment 505, is named after the close quarters they all shared. 505 was their unit number. They described this place as having the 7 plagues inside this apartment. Mushrooms growing on the walls, fruit flies, bed bugs, roaches, Yeezus. Each of them had a bed against a different wall in the unit, and if one of them wanted to have a lady friend spend the night, they went to the roof and pitched a tent. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. But the best thing about Apartment 505 is the range of styles and perspectives littered all across the album. They easily sink into a summertime ready Tribe Called Quest vibe on My Lady, or turn up the heat tossing verses back and forth like they do on Pangea. They get anthemic on Legacy, then implore the necessity of financial literacy on Pimpin' Benjamin. Here's a clip.
Metaphysics. When you move in silent, you don't move the money liquid. Implement a vision, speak it to existence, manifest, and the rest is making good decisions.
Implement a vision, speak it into existence, manifest, and the rest is making good decisions. Real rap. Yo, there's so much to love about Coast Contra. Their emphasis on learning from the greats before them, their storytelling, the range of styles and energies that bleed through their music, the fact that they're from all coasts and came up with the name Coast Contra as a way to bring people together, their competitiveness and relentless faith and willingness to make the sacrifices necessary to make their dreams come true. But one particular moment after what I and thousands in attendance at the Novo that night thought was an amazing performance resonated deeply with me when it comes to what it takes to sustain a career in rap and entertainment. At the after party following the show, the members of Coast Contra were recapping their performance. One of the members was frustrated by what he saw as a mistake the group made that evening. Here's how that exchange played out.
This is what it comes down to, and I'm not mad at you. All I'm saying is, as a brother to brother, on some brother to brother shit, I'm like, damn. All I'm saying is that moving forward, it's another, I'm trying to tell you, nigga, it's another power to this shit. And what I'm trying to tell you is the power is in learning the lesson, letting it go, because like Raul said, mistakes make the greatness. It's gonna be the end. Now we know, sound check, go at it like it's a show. I didn't know that before. That was just something we happen to do. Now that's concrete. Now we know that's a lesson. We're better. Now you won't remember this LA show in a couple years, but you will remember the lesson. You will remember the lesson. The lesson, the greatness of this lesson lasts a lifetime. I honestly feel like this is crazy. The only thing I feel like is crazy is that, nigga, all I'm talking about, this shit, what we did wrong, us. Yeah. There's no Denver without Chicago. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm just trying to tell you, like, you can't take the good and go Tucson, and then not understand that you don't get a Tucson without seeing it. And one more thing, I'm gonna say this in my last piece. I'm gonna go rock with you. Hey, look, this is what I'm gonna tell you. Another thing is, nigga, it's really how you take them L's, bro. The way we took that L in Phoenix, I'm saying it's the way you take them L's, nigga. The way you take them L's, it's like a superpower, nigga.
It's the way you take them L's. It's like a superpower. That's it. That's it right there. I think back to that moment at the Nova where Coast Contra commanded the audience to put their L's in the air. In that moment, that L introed their anthem Legacy. But in a way, it's a reminder to remember how you take L's is a superpower. With all the effort and focus and sacrifices and hours spent building skills, is there a more important ability than the ability to handle mistakes? Is it even possible to build something truly impactful without learning how to handle and recover from losses? I don't have the answer to these questions.
Static Selector.
Another Saturday, another TBD. Thank you guys for rocking with me. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna keep this one brief because it is my birthday. A couple of things. Clearly, I'm a huge fan of Coast Contra. I definitely think this is a very interesting point in their career. They're doing everything right and they're moving in the right direction. They got great management, they've got great talent, and now we see them executing on it. 2, I did interview Eric Jamal that night, so I'm gonna put a clip of that in the closeout here. He lost his voice after that show, so his manager, Max, is actually translating the conversation. So take a look at that. If you're wondering where Eric Jamal was in this piece, well, he's coming up here with a scratchy voice and his manager translating. It's all happening. My name is Justin Hunte. Like and subscribe to the channel. Follow @TheCompanyMan on everything. And as always, it's all happening.
If anyone wants to achieve anything, study those who've come before you. Work hard and put your faith in God.